No, you're gonna talk about it on there.
Cut
No,
me out. Yeah, nah. Everything I just said pre-broadcast, people. He was like, "Yeah, no, no, no," but I need to say this, and went live real quick.
no, no. Look, what I'm saying is, so you realize you've heard who's going to be in the Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about that? Let me ask that first. How do you feel about that?
Um. Honestly, B, I don't know. I'm a music lover. I'm entrenched in rap. That's what I grew up with.
Okay.
So to see an artist like Kendrick actually get his opportunity, it gives me those, okay, this is the Commons and the Showbiz and AG and the KRS ones and AZs, that guys that have been bypassed, that are not given their opportunity to really showcase who they are, because who they are isn't what the public or the mass public accepts. It's cool. I like it. I really do.
Okay. So you're okay with it.
So I'm perfectly fine with it. And again, I'm one of the few people. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm few, but I think Drake won the battle.
Really? You
But
think he won the battle?
I think Drake won the battle. I think lyrically, if they had to go, I'm a battle rap guy. So if
Yeah.
they had to go face to face, one on one, like no beats, no music. It's bar for bar, this for this. You got 3 rounds. I think Kendrick is cooking him.
Wow. Okay.
Because lyrically, Kendrick, the way he pieces everything up is far. He is he. Not, I don't want to say he's far superior, but he is much better at that
Okay. Well,
than
I don't want.
Drake is.
Okay. So how? Okay. I guess that can make me confused on how you think he won the battle, but I kind of understand what you're saying. I kind of understand. The one thing I wanted to kind of the reason why I asked you why is because of the location of the Super Bowl. It's in New Orleans, right? And I feel like there was only one answer to who they should get when it
Oh, it should
came.
have been Little Wayne.
So tell me if I'm tripping about this, because like there were some people who said I was tripping, and there was people who said I wasn't tripping. Right? I feel like it's a slam dunk answer. It's like somebody put the answer to the test in front of you. They gave you the answer sheet, right? And you decide to overthink it and put another answer because you feel like that answer is better than the answer sheet. Like, and Jay Z, obviously, there's a lot of history between him and Wheezy and
Mm-hmm.
national records and other stuff, the pettiness that those guys have been through. Like, I just feel like it's hella disrespectful to Wheezy to do this in his hometown. He's pretty much the king of that region. To me,
Yeah.
he's a top 5 rapper, in my opinion. There's no question about it. He's a top 5 rapper in the game today. I just feel as if it would have been an easy slam dunk for him to headline it. And then you can bring in Kendrick if you want to. That's fine. Because I know that Kendrick Lamar is the hottest rapper in the game right now because of his popularity and Not Like Us song. I get that. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying what the NFL or what Jay-Z is doing here. I think Jay-Z was petty for that, calling Kendrick Lamar a once in a lifetime artist, which I agree with, but also ignoring the fact that the Super Bowl's in the hometown of another once in a lifetime artist and Lil Wayne. Like, you could have just headlined it with Lil Wayne and then had Kendrick come in and do what he had. Like, I just this irked me all day, fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. This I went in on this one online a little bit because it irked me. Like, I was like, why the hell it's not Wheezy headlining this? Like, I don't
I
understand.
listen. I agree with you completely, but Jay Z's history. If you know Jay's history,
Yeah, I mean,
and
yeah, yeah, I get it.
I I got information off of Lance on Rivera. He and I had conversations about him getting stabbed, quote unquote, by Jay Z, which it wasn't Jay Z that stabbed him. Um, but Jay has always been a petty individual.
He really has been.
Everything he's done has
He
been
really,
petty and has been for his own personal gain.
I agree.
So this isn't surprising to me. It's whatever. It's business. It's, hey, you can hide behind the fact that you want to say, look, Kendrick's the hottest thing out right now. Him and Drake did one of the greatest things ever, and Kendrick came out on top
Mhm.
from a public perception, and we're going to promote that. But at the end of the day, Jay still wants to protect himself and his integrity. And whatever issues he had, I think it was DMX who said it. In an interview with Charlemagne, where he had said everything was cool when Jay became president of what is it, Def Jam, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get you. I got you, my guy. We're gonna do this. You my dog." And then X had completed his sixth album. It was ready to go. They had the single. They shot the video, and then it was like, "Yeah, now we're gonna have to go in a different direction." I was like, "Wait, you spent, it wasn't me spending the money, you spent the money in doing this. Why
Right.
are we going in a different direction?" Now it could have been because of X's transgressions and everything else that was happening off of music at that time when he was making his sixth album. But at the end of the day, Jay has shown that he is a businessman who puts himself first, because like he said in one of his songs, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a
Yeah, that's
businessman."
fine. That's fine. I don't care. It's just annoying. I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed that, and I, bias wise, Weezy is one of my favorite rappers of all time. So I was like, it was almost like a slam dunk for me. Like, okay, Weezy's definitely going to be performing at the Super Bowl. Like, no questions asked.
Oh, it should have been.
Right. So, like, I don't know. The whole thing annoyed me today. It was one of the things I was like, this is stupid. like, I'm not, but we'll see. We'll see when we get there. I feel like Lil Wayne should not be a sub headline to Kendrick. It should be the other way around. But whatever, bro. Whatever.
I think they believe. In all honesty, I think they believe Kendrick is going to bring in more than what you would do with Wheezy, because he doesn't have anything recent that's popping off right now.
Yeah, but still, it's Weezy though. Like, it's Usher didn't have anything pop up last year. Right?
Listen, if the Super Bowl was being held at Giant Stadium, we all know Jay would be headlining,
100%.
and 50 wouldn't be invited at all.
No, I think 50 would be invited. It was
I hell no. He didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl if it wasn't for Eminem saying, "I'm not doing it
oh
if
yeah,
50 ain't going."
that's right. That's
Remember
true.
that.
No. I do remember that. I do. Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing annoyed me, and if I'm Weezy, I reject it. If they ask me to do it, F it. I'm not doing
Oh,
it.
I would.
I'm rejecting it. I'm not a sub headline, a Kendrick Lamar in my own city.
Unless you're going to pay me more than you're going to pay Kendrick.
Get out of here with that nonsense. Hey man, let's get to the show. All right, we're I had to get that off my chest. I appreciate you being my therapist for that. But let's talk about welcome to the two-man front. We have a Sunday night show for you guys. You know, I know the game has started, but thank you for those who are joining us today. We got a lot to talk about. A lot has happened over the. I done spell takeaways wrong. Good Lord, I should take that off right now. I hit that spell takeaway wrong. But week NFL week.
What we going to tack away today? Oh shit, we getting canceled right there for that.
Please subscribe.
This is not hibachi.
Please subscribe to our pages and to the show on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook or on any of our pages here on Facebook. We appreciate those who are talking in the comments. We appreciate those who are subscribed to our pages. We really, really do a lot. We appreciate the love a lot. Here's the rundown. Here's the rundown of what we are going to be talking about. Fog wanted to get into this one, so I'm going to get comfortable with it. Is it time to panic in Colorado after the pretty much domination of Nebraska in Lincoln against the Colorado Buffaloes? We'll talk about that. Biggest takeaway from week 1 day games, right? Including the Thursday and Friday game. We'll talk about that. And of course, we'll talk about our teams. Both our teams won. Steelers won today against the Falcons. I'm sorry, not your Packers. Your Eagles won against the Packers in Sao Paulo. and Brazil.
Yeah,
About those,
Brazil.
we'll talk about those takeaways as well. But of course, leave your comments below as you guys are doing right now. We really appreciate that, and we're going to talk about a lot of things, and we want you guys to be involved in the discussion. Please do. Can't wait to get some discussion in. It's been a long time we've done this, folks. So I'm happy. Our schedules kept overrunning, but now we're here and we can talk
Yeah,
about football. So
I'm
really
excited about this.
absolutely.
Oh man.
Let's get into it. Nebraska throttles Colorado 28-10. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, it felt a little worse, especially in the first half than it was. Dylan Raiola, true freshman quarterback, had a pretty good game. I mean, he had a shaky second half, but a pretty good game. But the story really was just the lack of offensive production by Colorado because of their deficiencies again on the offensive line, both sides of the line, if we're being honest. And fall, like, we've seen this before with Colorado when they play these good teams. We saw it against Oregon last year. We saw it against USC, but they almost beat USC. But when they play teams that are really good, they struggle because of their deficiencies. So, Fogg, I'm gonna let you take it away. What was your biggest takeaway from this game? And I know you have something to say to Prime, so you can go ahead and do that before I give you my takeaway.
Listen, my biggest takeaway is going to be what your biggest takeaway is. It's the trenches. It's the offensive line. It's the defensive line. But I'm going to take this a step further. And this is where I say this is on Prime, because Coach Prime is prime time. And he's even coaching like he's prime time. It's a show. So the skill positions, you got Joe Horn III. You've got Travis Hunter. You've got his son, Shador, who's a fantastic prospect as an NFL quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's got the arm strength. Yep. He's got all the physical attributes and ability you need. Yep. You know what he doesn't have? An offensive line to protect him.
Yep.
And that was what was supposed to be brought in when the transfer portal and the what was it, 41 new players came in this year too.
Yeah, like it's
crazy.
Yeah.
So you did all this to build this offensive line. So 2023, 2024 to start in 2024. Here's a reality, B. And this is why I say I have a message to Coach Prime to get off of prime time and get in the trenches, something he never did in his career as a player, and something that he's not doing as a coach. Colorado against North Dakota State. North Dakota State, an FCS football team, ran for 157 yards and held you to 59 yards rushing.
That's crazy.
Nebraska ran for 149 yards and held you to 16 yards rushing.
They were like minus 17 at one point.
And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Shador was on his fucking back pedal, running away from what the defense was bringing.
Yeah.
But 2023, B, whole new different lineup than 2024. They averaged 69 yards rushing per game, allowing 176 yards rushing per game. Shador Sanders has been sacked 8 times in 2 games by Nebraska and an FCS university in North Dakota State. They haven't even played a quality Power 5 conference team yet, and he's been sacked 8 times. You know how many times he got sacked last season? 52. And you are now in a conference where you're playing against Power 5 teams. True FBS teams. Dude, if Colorado wins 5 games this season, they are lucky. It is absolutely time to hit the panic button, because guess what? Horn III, Travis Hunter, and Shador Sanders will all be gone. And what do you actually have coming in to build the program?
Well, I guess I'll just take it to the question: is it time to panic in Boulder? Because you just pretty much highlighted everything that happened in that game. I don't have much to add. I mean, it was pretty much a situation where if you watch the game, Colorado couldn't do anything because they couldn't do anything on the line and like literally couldn't run the football. I found it interesting. They got that Ohio State transfer. His last name is Hayden. I'm curious to why he didn't play more because it seemed like when he was in the game, he was at least falling forward. He was at least going like, I don't know, like, right? He was doing something like this other dude in the game, number 44. I didn't understand any of that, so I don't really know. But they couldn't move the football. I mean, it was literally Nebraska was only bringing 4, so they didn't even have to blitz to get to Shedeur. I understand Shedeur will have a tendency to hold on to the ball too long, but that tends to happen when you have happy feet because you don't want to get killed. You're trying to figure out, am I going to get killed before I pass this ball, or do I have time? So he's calculating that in his head while he's trying to go through his reads. I don't think people realize that, like, when you have a bad line, there's so much going through your head as a quarterback. Like, it's not about the reads at that point. It's about my life. I'm not trying to get killed, right? So there's that as well. If you don't have a line, you're not going to win a lot of games, Fogg. So I do think it's time to panic because they have the skill players. They have Joey Horn. They have Wester. They have obviously Travis Hunter. They have Shedeur. They have the guys. They have the running back, honestly, but they can't. There's no push. There's nothing there on both sides of the football. I will say the defensive line is actually a little better. It wasn't horrible. And I would even argue to say that the defense wasn't bad. Like Dion said it before he went into the locker room. The defense wasn't bad. It was just they couldn't stay off the field. And when you can't stay off the field, obviously you're going to be a little tired and gassed. So that's going to help the other team obviously move the ball a little easier because you're tired and gassed. I will say it's probably time, Bog, to panic. Let me switch over to the next slide real quick and show you what's on deck for Colorado, right? And just looking at this before the season, before they played North Dakota State in Nebraska, I probably had them winning I had them winning 6-7 games before the season. Before I saw anything, before I saw week 1 or week 2 of these Big 12 teams, I had them winning about 7 games because I felt like, okay, the defensive line is a little better. Let's see what the offensive line can do. Now, Fogg, now that I've seen these teams, now that I've seen where they have to go on the road, I can see them losing Colorado State easily.
Yep.
I can see them losing the Baylor at home. I can see them losing the Central Florida and Orlando. K-State looks pretty damn good, right? They look pretty good this weekend. Arizona.
Who's gonna answer the best receiver in the draft coming out this year?
I mean, if it's not Travis Hunter, then if anything,
it definitely ain't Shiloh Sanders.
Well, no, he's terrible. I'm sorry. I have nothing to say. I think he broke his wrist, so he's out anyway. So this could be a good game for Travis Hunter. Anything. He could probably shut down the best receiver in the game in the land. It could be a good game for him, right? Cincinnati.
Even if he doesn't, he's the best. He's a top 10 draft pick.
100%. Oh, he's the best football player in the country, in my opinion. It's Travis Hunter. He's the best football player in the country. And then Cincinnati, Texas Tech, they're going to lose to Utah. Then they have Kansas, and then they have Oklahoma State to end it. McFall, I don't see.
And they can't stop the running game. You ain't stopping Ollie Gordon.
I honestly don't see. I don't see a bowl game.
No, I'm telling you, if they win 5 games, they're going to be lucky.
Jeez, man, it's. And you know what? When I said off air, I said I was going to give a little criticism to Dion, and this was it. And you were kind of alluding to it. Yes. It is very evident that they have no line. We all see it. The line is terrible. And those in the comments, I'm going to get your comment in a minute. Thank you for commenting. The line is terrible, but it's the responsibility of the head coach to put together a staff that's going to help develop these players.
Exactly.
That's Dion's job, is to put together a staff. I don't even know who the O-line coach is. They said his name last night or on Saturday, and I never heard of the guy. I don't know who he is, but he ain't doing his job. Because Bog, they have the guys. They got the number 1 offensive lineman in the country. 5-star guy, right? He's there. I don't think he's trash. I just think there's maybe a lack of coaching there, man. And they have Pat Shermer there, and it looks like Pat Shermer looks like he knows what he's doing, but you got no time. You can't run the football. I don't care if you're I don't care if you're Todd Moore of the Colts. You can't run the football, right? You're not doing anything.
Well, that's just it. You can't run the football. Again, Shedeur Sanders is not the greatest at reading defenses, in my opinion. He's got work to do on that.
Yeah.
And what we criticized him for last year about holding the ball too long, trying to make plays. Well, guess what? Against North Dakota State and against Nebraska, he wasn't doing that. He was just trying to save his fucking ass. He was literally trying to save his body because he didn't even have the time to think about throwing the ball, especially against Nebraska, who sacked him 6 times and I think hurried him 22 times. That's insane. I think you're on mute, B.
All I said was it's gonna be a long season in Boulder. It might be a long season. It might be.
No, it will be a long cold season as winter goes along.
I mean, look, they could get better coaching. It could happen. I don't see it happening. Let's see how they do against Colorado State in Colorado Springs or Fort Collins, and we'll go from there. But man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be. Let's see how they are. Like their bye week is after UCF. They're 1-1 now. I mean, they could easily be 1-2, 1-4.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Let's see where they are by the time they get to K-State. All right, let's move on though. Week 1 of the NFL is upon us. We had some very interesting just results. All right. Week 1 takeaways, including Thursday and Friday, because obviously we had some games on Thursday and Friday as well. Fog, I'm going to let you take it away. What was your week 1 takeaway of the day games? Obviously, we have a game right now going on with the Rams and Lions, and then we have the Niners and Jets playing tomorrow night in the Bay. Fog, what's your biggest takeaway of week 1?
Biggest takeaway. Shit. I have multiple ones. So since I have multiples, I'll do this quick. Texans, Colts, I love the way both those teams played. I told you I'm high on the Colts, but I love the way the Texans came out. Now, the Texans have a tougher schedule than the Colts, so we'll see how they are going forward. But these are 2 teams to watch, as both these teams can actually be playoff teams in the AFC. What I saw with the Steelers and Falcons, you and I will talk about that later, and the Packers and Eagles. Bills and Cardinals, Bills started out slow. I'm not happy about that with the Bills, because if this is their window, then they didn't get a good start. Bengals, Patriots, Bengals fucked up big time. They started out slow. They've started out slow the last 2 seasons.
Loss.
Yeah, this is not a good start for them at all.
Probably the worst loss of the day. Probably the worst loss of the day for any team.
Biggest takeaway for me, Minnesota might actually be a real fucking contender.
They played the Giants.
I was just going to say they played the Giants, but when you look at that offense, you look at the defense, you look at what they've got. This is going to be predicated on coaching and Sam Darnold. This team, if Darnold even performs like a top 15 statistical quarterback, because I know people hate stats, but if he's a top 15 statistical quarterback, the Minnesota Vikings might actually be not just a playoff potential contender, but they might actually contend for that division, especially what we're going to see with Green Bay the next 3 to 4 weeks, because they won't have Jordan Love.
Agreed. That's true. That's good. Oh, I forgot about that. You're very, very, very right about that. Wow, I forgot. Who's the backup? Who's the backup in Green Bay?
Malik Willis.
Oh my God. God, there's nobody else he could get. Oh man. Oh,
Listen, I have Jalen Reed in a dynasty league, and I'm like, man, I'm glad it's a dynasty league.
jeez, that's just crazy bad. Man, look, okay. Well, let's see what Malik. Well, this is his shot. Maybe this is his shot to kind of see what he can do. I mean, it's a blessing in disguise for him because we really haven't seen him, but there's a reason why we haven't seen him. There's a reason why they drafted Will Levis and got him out of there before we even saw him.
And we saw what Will Levis did
And we saw
today.
Oh man, I'm not saying, hey, Green Bay fans, I'm not saying your season's over, but
but it could be in trouble really fast because that division is tough.
With
the Bears won and didn't score an offensive touchdown,
which is impressive.
Don't let Caleb Williams actually figure this shit out.
And which I think he will eventually figure it out. Good win for them. And the Lions are playing tonight. I'm not sure who's winning. So that division is going to be wide open.
It's 3-3 right now. I got it on.
There you go. 3-3 right now. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Fug, your takeaways are pretty much the same as mine. I mean, one of the biggest takeaways I have, and honestly, man, like I got to swallow some crow here, bro. Like, because, hey, man, Bryce Young, bro. like, man, dude, like, I like you as a person. You seem like a really good kid, but bro, like, it's week 1 too, but you went up against a division rival who I don't think is very. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the Saints winning that division. I have the Falcons winning. No, right? You know, so man, he's gonna have to turn this around quick because it could get ugly real fast. I can see them putting him on the bench like mid-season if it doesn't turn around. That was my biggest takeaway. Another big takeaway I had was it was the New England game with Joey B and the Bengals. Man, that was the bad loss. That's a bad loss for them, right? It was not a good loss for the Bengals. And what was the score in that game? I haven't even seen this. What was the score?
That was that score.
I'm looking it over now. I know I watched like half of that game, but I turned the channel 16-10. Okay, and I know they were down. They were down.
I didn't think Jamar Chase was going to play, but 6 receptions, 62 yards.
No, he played. It was just a bad loss.
It was ugly for them.
Yeah. I think that was a pretty bad loss for them. I feel like that was a win. They're probably going to be kicking themselves in the foot here. I mean, Joe Burrow had a pretty good game. Zach Moss, you know, I mean, are they going to miss Joe? I think they will. I think they would miss Joe Mixon. Mm-hmm. You know, because that running game is not going to be what it was without him. So we'll see. So that was a pretty big takeaway for me. And honestly, Fog, you know, Dallas, man. And look, this is with knowing the Deshaun Watson situation, as it was reported that, you know, he lost his father this past Friday. So
not only that, he lost both his starting tackles.
Wow. So there you go.
They didn't play either.
There you go.
So when you think about it, Dak Prescott threw for 10 more yards than Deshaun Watson did. And the only reason Dak Prescott looked better was because he didn't make any turnovers. He didn't make any mistakes. He had 170 yards, 79 yards passing with 1 touchdown. And Deshaun Watson had 2 picks with 1 touchdown for 169 yards. Prescott didn't get sacked. And Watson was on his back 6 times in this game. So, Dallas, great win. I don't want to hear shit from Dallas fans. I am not sold on anything here.
I'm not saying I'm sold. I'm not saying I'm sold on them, but they did what they had to do. They did what they were supposed to do. And they did it on the road in Cleveland against a team that we thought the defense was at least formidable. Clearly it's not, but that could be because the offense was so bad and Deshaun was so bad. And, you know, obviously he has a heavy heart, but I want to focus more on Dallas because they did what they're supposed to do, right? So I commend them for that. Look, I think Dallas is going to be exactly where they were last year. I think they're going to win 11, 12 games. I think they're going to win that division. No offense, I'm an Eagles fan. I think they're going to win that division. And that's pretty much, it's going to be a 2-team race between them and the Eagles. I think the Commanders and Giants are going to be out of it by like week 10. maybe
Yeah.
early for the Giants. The Giants are sorry, right? So, yeah, I think Dallas looked good. I think they look. There seemed to be some revitalization with Dak Prescott because he got his money, the highest paid player in NFL history. So he's locked in for probably the rest of his career as a Dallas Cowboy. I think they're going to be back exactly where they were. And now the takeaway is really how they played. The last takeaway I have before we move on to our teams, the very last takeaway I have was the game that was played on Thursday night, and it was the Chiefs and Ravens. And the biggest takeaway I had, because I watched that game from start to finish, was how aggressive Lamar Jackson was running the football and making plays with his legs. We haven't seen that since his 2019 season when he won the MVP and he ran for like 1,200 yards. He was one of the great, unanimously, by the way. And we had one of the greatest single seasons we've ever seen from a quarterback, in my opinion. Fog, if he plays like that, what is it? 8 months ago in the playoffs against the Chiefs, they go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Like, they literally win it. like they win it, but it was such a tale of two games. It was unbelievable that how quick he was taking off when nothing was there, or when he saw a lane and he picked up the first down or picked up some yards. He looks skinnier, he looks trimmer, he looks faster than what he was last year. He even said himself he lost 15 pounds. It was 220 last year. Now he's about 205, back to where he was in 2019. I wonder how he's going to hold up. We'll see. But that's the Lamar Jackson that should have been the playoff game last year. Had he had played that way, they would have won. And and it kind of irked me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though they didn't win this game, he missed some throws. I get it. He missed Zay Flowers in the end zone, but he also missed some spectacular throws as well. Yeah, the aggressiveness of Lamar Jackson will take away from that game.
I think my hope is that aggressive nature transfers through when he's throwing the ball. I really, because I will say this: we talk about, and again, I'm a numbers guy. Talk about touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah,
but the reality is, and I got into an argument with people when they said, "Would you take Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre?" Aaron Rodgers is clearly the better quarterback. But if I wanted to win a Super Bowl, I'm taking Brett Favre.
Really?
Hey, I'm taking Brett Favre because Brett Favre will take the necessary risks that Aaron Rodgers won't. Understand this: Brett Favre's been to 2 Super Bowls, won one, lost one.
That's true.
Aaron Rodgers has won 5 MVPs now.
4, I think.
4.
Yeah.
4 MVPs. And he's been to 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What 3 times that he's won those MVPs, 3 of his MVP seasons, he had a top 10 defense. I'm sorry, but outside of the season, he won a Super Bowl where he had a top 5 defense and a top 5 run in the game, rushing attack. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl without having that. Eli Manning cooked his ass in one of the playoffs and went to a Super Bowl without having that. Tom Brady actually went to a Super Bowl winning without having that. Patrick Mahomes has done that without having both at the same time, with a top 10 rushing attack and a top 10 defense. You are considered the MVP 4 times. And this is where I give people shit with Lamar Jackson. Oh, he hasn't won anything. Why are we not giving a shit to Aaron Rodgers?
I think people are now, though. I think he's starting to get that shit. I know what you mean. I will say that there was a time where he was getting passes a lot. But I think people are starting to realize, okay, bro, like, you haven't been to a Super Bowl since 2010. Like, you have literally haven't even been to. You won it. You haven't even. Has he been to an NFC title? Yeah, he has. He has been to an NFC title game at least.
I think he went to 2. And
yeah,
he lost.
He lost to the Niners both, right? Was it the Niners? But both times the Niners, maybe.
Was it Niners and Bucks? The year that Tampa Bay won?
Oh, the one that Brady. Yeah. The one that when Brady won. Yeah.
Niners and Bucks.
Niners and Bucks. So I mean, I think there's that pressure a little bit on him. I think people are realizing that okay, you won one, which is not a ho hum thing, but for as heralded as he was, and this is, I don't want to get off topic here. We're going to go to our next topic, but this is one of the reasons why I've not moved Mahomes to the greatest of all time, because people were doing that with Brady. I'm sorry, with Rodgers
Yes.
before he did anything. He had a good career trajectory. He wasn't winning MVPs. TD interception ratio was incredible. He was making all these plays, and he hasn't won anything, right? And now I think the narrative is starting to change on him a little bit. So I'm not going to move. That's why I said it's better to be patient and see what happens than to move these guys up too fast, because once you move them up, right, they have nowhere else to go but down, and inevitably they're probably going to go down.
But that's why I want to see Lamar take more risks throwing the ball. Throw caution to the wind and say,
Agreed.
fuck it.
I agree.
Let it rip.
Let it rip.
Let it rip.
I agree. And he was doing that last Thursday, and he was running, right? He was running, and I think that seems to be the game plan. It seems to be. All right, let's start with your game. Eagles, Packers. Here it is. The Eagles won in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Your new toy, Saquon Barkley, looked pretty good. He had 3 total touchdowns. Jalen Hurts looked okay. He looked okay, along with AJ Brown, who had a long touchdown reception. Bog, what's your biggest takeaway? Biggest takeaway from this game?
My biggest takeaway is this offense they're not in sync yet, which is crazy to say. They put up 34 points, but this is an offense that is not in sync yet. Jalen Hurts needs to get in line with what Kellen Moore is doing.
Mm-hmm.
If this offense gets in sync, this 34-point scoring will look a lot better, because they'll be doing it more consistently on everybody in the league. This is the most elite offense as far as personnel that you have in the NFL. There isn't an A.J. Brown, a Devonta Smith, a Saquon Barkley, and a Jalen Hurts on any other fucking team in the league, period. You do not have this anywhere else.
You guys have a legit number 1 receiver, a legit number 2 receiver, and a legit number 1 running back with a legit line.
And yeah, exactly. A legit line with a top 15 quarterback. Your number 2 could be a number 1 on probably 7 or 8 teams in the league right
100%,
now.
100%.
So no, you have what they have at their disposal offensively. This team did not look anywhere near as good as that 34-29 victory that they had against the Packers. My biggest takeaway is, where is this team going to go? Because this is a Super Bowl team. This is the best team in the NFC. And you've known me for quite some time, B. I don't talk about my team like this.
So would you say this is Super Bowl or bust?
Yes.
Okay. I agree.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't have them making the Super Bowl, but I'm not mad that you think that, because like when you think about it, and when you outline it the way you did, when it comes to what they have on offense, like what's there, like, I mean, Jalen Hurts, it's going to be hard to mess this up, but if he does, it's going to be hard not to point the finger on him, right? And I don't know what's going on with him and Nick Sirianni and sort of their relationship. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of buzz on that over the summer. I don't know what to believe or what not to believe, but and then you guys have a pretty good damn defense as well, right? Your defense is still solid. Like, yeah, I mean, I do have Dallas winning the division only because I'm not sure what the tension is in Philly. I feel like it's one of those things where it can teeter, and it's either going to go really, really well for you guys. You guys are going to click like you want them to, or it's going to be just a effing disaster.
Well, for me, this looked more like Kellen Moore was in charge of the offense, and it's a matter of the offense getting it together. Hurts getting it together, getting the playbook down with and in line with the rest of this team. That's what it looked like to me. It didn't look like Nick Sirianni was in control of things, and like last year or his first season with the Eagles, it looked like, hey, a, a Shane striking moment, if you will. It was like, okay, I'm turning the reins over. Kellen Moore was in charge of this offense, and this offense my expectation is they're going to get better as the season progresses, because this did not look like a Sirianni driven offense, because it wouldn't have scored this many points and they wouldn't have won this game.
There's been a lot of talk about windows being closed or windows closing, and everyone was saying the 49ers window was closing. We got to add the Eagles in there as well. You got to add Philly in there as well.
I don't know. Howie Roseman has done a great job in keeping that window open with the way he's drafted and with the.
Okay, I'm just saying,
I would agree, but I'm sitting back and watching this, and let's be honest. Even since Carson Wentz was there, and the Eagles went to the Super Bowl in 2017, it seems like the Eagles' window has been open since then.
You're right. You're right. It does seem like, no, you're right. It does seem like it hasn't closed or hasn't. I mean, it hasn't really been closing, but it just seems that like this is it. Like you have the team. Like I feel the same way I feel about the Niners. Like Brock Purdy is still a young quarterback. You haven't paid him yet. You still have a lot of your pieces are still in their prime. Like, this is it, man. Like, you guys have been to Super Bowl twice. What's going on? Like, this is why I picked them to win it. Like, if you don't do it this year, I don't think you blow it up. But it's like, okay, maybe you guys just aren't good enough. Maybe this is not the team. I don't know. But let's go to my team real quick. Man, Fong, I'll tell you right now, this kid has a range of emotions of this game. Because I honestly didn't really care about the result, because I knew that this was all new, right? I just want to see if we can move the ball. And you know what? I wrote this in my write-up. I posted on my page. You know what? I said we just look and feel different with Justin Fields in there. Like, I have confidence that Justin Fields is going to, at the very least, try to make a play. I have confidence that he's going to get the ball to George Pickens, something that Kenny Pickett, for whatever reason, just refused to get him the ball. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But you don't put the ball in your best player's hands. You don't even give him a shot. I don't understand. But it seems like Justin Fields understood the assignment. Hey, see that big dude who's 6'4", like 210, right?
Get him the fucking ball.
Yeah, give him the ball. Throw it to him. I don't give a damn if they even know. I don't care. It's like coaching when I'm coaching freshman football. Throw it to that guy. I don't care if they hear me. I don't care if the other team hears me. We're throwing it to him. It's like so easy, right? So he was doing that. We were moving the ball, albeit we did not score. So that was the only thing that really was annoying, that we didn't score. We had a chance to score at the end there. We were in the red zone, but we decided to kick the field goal and make it 18-10. Yeah. I get why. They had no more timeouts. There's no need to try turn around down. There's no need to, right? I get it. Get the points. Make it a one-score game plus a 2-point conversion. I understand that. But I would like to at least – we didn't really even throw it to the end zone. We just ran the ball the whole time. So that was kind of weird. It's really, really conservative. But I get that. What I did not like and our pass pro, I will say our pass pro was actually pretty – I thought Justin Fields was going to be running for his life, but he really wasn't. He was not running for his life. It was more so of him kind of being indecisive. But, our pass pro, he had a pocket. And when he had the pocket, he made some good decisions. Najee Harris still sucks. I'm sorry. Najee Harris isn't good. He's just same dude, bounces it all the time, doesn't run downhill. It's just freaking annoying. I can't stand it personally. I can't stand that he's a big back who doesn't like to get physical. I'm annoyed by it. We didn't have Warren today. Because he was hurt, so we had to run Cordell Patterson, who's not really a running back, so he didn't really do much. Running game wise wasn't great, and our run blocking is the best part of our line is our run blocking. There were lanes there. I watched the game, some of the highlights from the end zone view. There were lanes there that Najee could have went down, and he decided not to.
Yes.
I have no idea. I have zero clue why this man does not want to use his build to just get 4-5 chunk yards to help out your young quarterback. I have no idea. My third thing was, we already knew this. I won't spend a lot of time. We already know that George Pickens is him. This dude is going to have a breakout year this year with whoever's at quarterback. I think he's going to be in the top 5, top 3 in receiving yards. If you have George Pickens on your fantasy team like I do, you're probably going to win your league because he's getting all passes. He's getting every single pass because honestly, we don't have a reliable number 2. I have zero clue who number 2 guy is. Who do we draft? Who's that guy? Roman
Wilson, but he's out. He's on the IR. So Van Jefferson right now is your second best receiver.
Yeah, so I'll tell you right now, I'm sure George Pickens has been drafted by everybody. If you have him, start him every week because he's getting every pass. And Freiermuth was okay. He's still a pretty reliable target. I like him. But then the fourth thing was obviously our defense actually looks really solid again. TJ Watt, personally, I think he's the best defensive player in the game right now, the most dominant defensive player in the game right now. Our secondary, which was kind of our Achilles heel on defense, looked pretty damn good. We got 2 picks on Kirk Cousins today, right? We held him in check. Only gave up 10 points. So we looked pretty damn good defensively. That's what's going to win us a lot of games. I just want to get in the end zone next time. I'm hoping to get in the end zone for the next game. And we'll see. I think Fields should start until he can't start. I know that Russell Wilson has the calf. He may be healthy to go next week. I think he should start until he can't anymore. Like, let's throw him in the fire. If he sucks, then you can put Russ in there and see what he can do. But I do think Justin Fields is going to be fine in Pittsburgh. I think he's going to be fine.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
100%. My takeaway on that game was, again, I picked Atlanta to win the South, and I still think they can.
Oh, yeah.
They just got to put it together. But what I saw from Pittsburgh is everything we've discussed, for the last 4 or 5 years. It's Mike Tomlin. Yeah. It's Mike Tomlin. That's it. Tomlin's coaching. The man is unbelievable. And where they're at is because of Tomlin. Now, he's going to make Justin Fields a better quarterback. I truly believe that. And it just, watching Fields in this game off of the highlights that I saw, I'm like, okay, he should be the starting quarterback. I'm with you. He should be starting until he can't, because I don't think Russell Wilson can do what Fields is going to be able to do with this young team.
Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, and look, and my take is this. I because the team is so young, I just feel like the team is going to play a little harder for Justin than they would for us. I just think they're going to play because I think Justin relates with them a little more. He's younger. I think he's very popular amongst the league. I think people think he can play. He has the potential. I think everyone knows that. It's just going to take a team and a coach to get it out of him. I think he's in the right situation for that to happen. And again, man, like I told my brother, this is a game we would have lost with Kenny Pickett. We would have lost this game. It would have been close, but Kenny Pickett would have threw some stupid passes in the dirt. Matt Canada would have called just the most generic first grade plays. It's just, well, you don't understand, bro. Like seeing the ball move down the field, that's worth 17-0. Like, you don't understand. You don't understand how bad it was these last 2 years. Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about it. It was so bad, man. Like Kenny Pickett was so freaking bad to the point where when Mason Rudolph was in there, I was like, we look like a fucking football team. Wait a minute. We look all right right now. Like we're actually in this playoff game with the Bills because of Mason Rudolph. Like, man, Kenny Pickett is sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so grateful for Justin Fields. I really am, because it just looks different. It looks so fluid. He just looks like he looks the part. Like, so we'll see, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. Big, good, great win for us. Great momentum win. So we'll see what happens in the next
big
game.
Win, considering the fact that everyone else in that division took an L.
Yes. Good point. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that everybody lost but us. Yeah.
Big win for them.
Big win. Who do you guys play next?
Who, the Eagles?
Yeah, who do you guys play next?
Shit, I don't know.
Let me see. We got the Broncos at Denver, going to Denver, which another winnable game. Another winnable game. I don't know how about did Bo Nix, did the Broncos win today? I don't know how he played. I didn't even check.
Oh no, the Broncos got cooked. They looked like shit. So yeah, no, Steelers can definitely win that game.
I didn't even check. I didn't even look. I didn't even check in. I didn't even check in and see where they were.
I got Javonte Williams in my one fantasy league, and I'm like, what the hell happened? I got out of work. I looked. I'm like, oh man, you guys just suck. Period.
You guys
Philly plays New Orleans.
No, you guys have the Falcons Monday night.
Oh wait, no, yeah, Falcons.
So you guys have ATL, same thing. Okay. So you guys have the Falcons Monday night. And then
Falcons, New Orleans. Yeah, Philly could be 3-0 in the next 3 weeks.
3-0. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at your schedule.
Tampa, shit, Cleveland, fuck. New York, Cincinnati, Jacksonville.
Anybody who has the Giants on their schedule, it's like an FCS cupcake team at this point. Like, that's a W. That's a W. Like, honestly, Fog, I don't think you guys are going to go undefeated, but you guys really don't have to worry about much. Tampa may be a tricky game, but real talk, November 10th against Dallas, man, like.
That might be, yeah, that's November 10th against Dallas, and again, Cleveland, October 13th. Let's wait and see what the 2 tackles come back healthy. Chubb should be back by then. Let's see what that Browns team looks like.
I think Cleveland is cooked, man. I think Deshaun Watson is cooked. I do. I mean, I'm not trying to knock. I know he lost his father, but even before that, I thought he was cooked.
My concerns was about him being cooked before I didn't even know his father passed away, but he just, while I'll say he was part of the problem watching the game, god damn,
it's bad.
His offensive line, with the fact that no offensive line, no Russian attack at all. It was bad. He got beat the fuck. He looked like Shedeur Sanders. He was getting beat up that bad, B. It was ugly. It was fucking ugly. I sat here, I'm cooking dinner, and I'm like, man, I feel like taking a plate of food to him right now. Like, here, eat, bro. It's bad. I'm sorry. I should have been your coach. I should have done something to help you. It was ugly. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, it looked bad. I was watching it from the gym, and I was having any sound. I was just looking at the score. The score kept getting worse and worse. So I was like, that's all the stats for Deshaun. Did he get benched?
No, he just got beat the fuck up.
I thought somebody said he got benched or something.
No, he didn't get benched. He was in there till the end. I give him credit because I would have been like, coach would tap it out.
Well, first of all, I'm not benching a dude who's making $230 million guaranteed. You're staying out there.
Put Jameis in. I'll give you 10% of what I'm getting paid. Just get me out of here. It was that bad, B. It was horrible. And then when the demoralizing thing, when Amari Cooper had that ball in his hands and he just dropped it. Like it was like, dude, you're playing against your old team who thought you weren't good enough to be anything.
Yeah,
and Lamar, Deshaun took a hit. He got wrecked, B. He stood in the pocket and he let that, and he got destroyed. And I'm like, and you dropped that pass? If I was Deshaun, I'd go up to you and be like, you know what? I know my money's guaranteed, but I think they should take money away from you for that play. You're paid to make that play. I'm paid to make that throw. I made that throw.
It's funny make that catch. It's funny because so much was made of the Alabama receivers being united with Jared Judy, who I am not gonna lie, I have given up on. I think he's garbage. He's just not good. Like, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it makes me feel a lot better as a Steeler fan that we were the only team in our division that won.
Yes.
That makes me feel a lot better. Like we are.
It really does put Steelers in a very good position right now.
It does. No, it does. And I'm definitely happy about that. Yeah. It seems right now a very winnable division. I think the Ravens are obviously going to still be the Ravens. But the Bengals and Browns, yeah.
I took Jared Verse as the defensive rookie of the year. Guess what he did? He just mopped up Jared Goff.
Where's Jared? Oh, Florida State. Under that.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, we want to thank everybody for coming on and who's watched on this Sunday night. We understand you guys are probably watching the game.
Are we going to do this every Sunday night? Because I'm in.
I like the Sunday nights. I like talking about the games right afterwards. So we will. You guys can join us every Sunday night to talk about the week 1 takeaways. We'll talk about the Thursday game, obviously, and the Sunday games. And then while the Sunday night game's going on, and we can talk about that maybe even as it's going on. Just give you some updates on why that game's going on as we are live. But we really, really appreciate you guys coming on, watching on this Sunday night. We've missed this a lot. Our schedules were just crazy, so we haven't been on, but this seems to be the day. Definitely can block out some time to make sure we do this every Sunday. I'm looking forward to it because I definitely missed you. Definitely missed game winning drive as well. Wish I could do that, but I know you guys are on Tuesdays, so I can't be there, but definitely will try to watch when I can. But make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. Also, we're going to be doing some shorts, some reels to make sure, to add to our page so you guys can get the hottest takes we have. And then also, please make sure you follow our personal pages, particularly Bias Sports by the Fog, BZ Sports by myself. Make sure you follow our pages. We have great content. Fog actually has a great Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffalo. It actually might be, honestly, a hate. I'm playing.
and I like Prime, but damn.
Yeah, he's gonna
ain't the time, Prime.
He's gonna be honest. He's gonna tear up Prime Time, which honestly, it's hard to defend at this point. Prime, it's hard, man. It's hard. I love him to death. It's hard. But yeah, check that out whenever that comes out. I believe tomorrow, right, Fog?
Yeah, tomorrow I'll have that out.
Absolutely, check that out. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be great. Looking forward to reading that. But that'll do it for us. You guys go ahead and enjoy the Sunday night game against the Lions and Rams. I'm sure that game is going on. It's going
10-3 at halftime right now. Lions are up.
Is it in LA or in Detroit?
I know it's in Detroit.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Matt Stafford's returning back. Cool. All right. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of that game, and we will get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. I am Be Easy. This is the Fog, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. Same place, same time.